Alright then, here we go. It is the third and final part of Kingdom Under Fire, Circle of Doom, and we've got 5 more achievements to get. The grind begins, we've got a bunch of levels to get, so let's get into it. So to start, we worked on getting level 80 with all the characters, and yeah, it took a bit of figuring out, but I think I found out a pretty good way of doing it, so let's take a look at the process here. To start with, we played through with Leinhart and got him to level 80. I just kind of continued straight on after I finished a normal run with him. And I just went straight into the hard mode with him, kind of ran through because I had a pretty decent weapon from the Encloblosa fight. And yeah, I didn't realize that you can just teleport around on hard mode and extreme. You don't actually have to run through the game and unlock each area. They're all like you have access to everything. But because I didn't know this, I just ran through the game until I got to the Valley of Solitude, which is where I hit that level 80. So yeah, we ran through the forest of Embracing, killed the boss there, made it through the City of Desolation, killed a few boys and whatnot, and then made it to the Halls of Arrogance, made our way through there, fought Loki, took him down, and then yeah, we made it to the Valley of Solitude, killed a couple boys and got that level 80, which is pretty nice. So when I realized that I didn't actually have to play through the game again, and hard mode and extreme would just have every location unlocked, I started trying to think about what would be the best place to level up, what's the best place for XP, so I just ran about with a couple characters and tried a few areas to start with. So we tried the City of Desolation, which wasn't too bad considering that there's a lot of enemies here. We then went into Forest of Embracing just because it's a bit easier when you don't have high level weapons and stuff, but that wasn't the best. And then yeah, I kind of ended up in the Valley of Solitude, which was kind of difficult. Like the enemies there are quite tough when you've only just got onto hard mode. But I did manage to grab a couple of little upgrades there, and then I found probably my favorite place to train. The XP drops were pretty spicy, and that is the Cave of Rage. This place was phenomenal for XP. So one group of the magma giants and magma boys, or whatever you want to call them, was pretty much giving me 1 level up each pack of enemies. To get an idea of how much XP I managed to get, one run through this area that took about an hour or so took me from level 52 all the way to 69. That's how much XP I was getting in this place. And then I was getting upgrades for the weapons and stuff on the way. So that was kind of nuts, because then that just made runs faster. So yeah, 2 runs of this was pretty much all I needed to do to get Celine to that level 80. And then yeah, we were done with Celine. That's two characters down, 4 to go. And we did the same with Regneir. We went to that Cave of Rage and took out some magma boys, and yeah, got a good few levels. Then I got a bit bored of these Golem guys, so I decided to go to the City of Desolation just to change it up a bit. And yeah, went straight back to the Cave of Rage just because the XP drops were just not even like close to the same as all these Magnum boys. So yeah, we went back and got our last couple of levels, and that was Regneir done, level 80, 3 down, 3 to go. But one thing I did notice when I got to the Cave of Rage with Regneir is these bats dropped some very, very nice stuff for Regneir. I mean, he was already equipped, but we got a Claymore with 206 attack power. We also had like armor that was over 1000 HP, which got me thinking. My next 3 characters, I should come here. There's no enemies in the way. I can get straight to the bats, kill them, and just get my characters sorted and equipped with some good level equipment so we can get some kills faster, get some faster XP. So that's exactly what I did. So we went in with Duane for our 4th character, did the same thing. We went to these bats, killed a couple of them boys, and yeah, got some tasty upgrades, which was pretty nice. And then my game plan changed a little bit. I started going to the Valley of Solitude to kill some invisible enemies to gather some orange potions to increase my weapon's power even more, so I can get those quicker kills and that quicker XP so the grind isn't as painful. So that's exactly what I did, and there's a little tip I got for you when it comes to these orange potions. So if you've downloaded the patch, you'll find that your orange potions are pretty pointless, because as you can see, my unicorn sword has 85 attack, and the orange potion will take it to 89 attack, which isn't that much of a increase, right? It's pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. But what you can do is, if you go back to your Xbox home screen and go to your system settings and then hit your memory settings or your storage settings, and then press Y on that hard drive and clear system cache, and if you do all that, you go back onto your Kingdom Under Fire Circle of Doom game and don't update, then the patch isn't installed, and that orange potion then takes that unicorn sword up to 110 damage. So that's gone from like a 3 to 5% increase to about 30% increase in damage, which is just amazing. So yeah, I recommend doing that. It's going to make your life a lot easier when you're doing your grind, because orange potions are hard to come by, but you know, up to you, do what you want. So with that in mind, I started grinding out to get some more orange potions, upgraded my stuff a couple of times, and then I got this insane drop, a phoenix sword with 343 attack. Like, I just wasted a bunch of orange potions for nothing, but I'm happy to see it. So we equipped that, got a couple more orange potions, and increased that attack power to about 500 damage. And having a sword that did 500 damage definitely made the whole grind a lot easier. We got those levels thick and fast, and then we managed to get Duane to that level 80. And yeah, just 2 more characters to go. Pretty nice. And then it was Kendal's turn to reach that level 80, so we killed those bats in the Cave of Rage, got some upgrades, went over to this Valley of Solitude, killed some invisible boys to gather some orange potions, and then we got this cheeky double orange potion drop, which is very, very spicy. Pretty rare, I would imagine as well, but yeah, I'm not gonna complain about that. 2 orange potions and like 2 kills, that's crazy. And once we felt like we had enough orange potions, we started doing our little upgrades and took our weapon from 291 damage all the way up to 1077 damage, which is just insane. These magma golems are not going to know what hit them. So yeah, you know, we took that big old hammer and just started wailing on these guys. And then I thought I'd go check out the Path of Chaos, see if the XP's any better there. And then we ended up at the end of Chaos, so I decided I might as well kill Encoblosaur, give it a shot, which we did manage to do with this big old hammer. It wasn't too much trouble, although he almost got me in the meatball phase. He kind of trapped me in the corner and ticked me. You know, I had to use a lot of potions there, but we killed him and we got 2 level ups from that and unlocked the extreme mode. So Kendal's gonna be our extreme character that we're gonna play through on extreme. So yeah, pretty nice stuff there. And then we just kind of finished up in extreme. The XP drops here was something else. And yeah, we got that level 80 pretty quick. And then last but not least, it was Curian's time to get level 80. So he headed over to that Cave of Rage, killed a couple bats, got some loot, and then equipped that Gladius, because the sword's going to be a lot quicker than the big Halberg thing or whatever it's called. And then yeah, we did the same thing, went to kill invisible enemies, get some orange potions, and then you know, upgrade that weapon. So our Gladius was now doing 707 damage per hit, which was pretty nice. And then we went to the Cave of Rage, and instead of just focusing on just killing the magma giants and all that kind of stuff, I made my way to the pretty much the end of the Cave of Rage until you get to that spiral staircase with all the lizard men, because there's a whole mess of like enemies there. So I wanted to test it out and see how much like XP you can get from there. And obviously you don't really have to run far to get to enemies, so when you reset the room by quitting out and reloading, it's yeah, you're straight back into the fight. So I figured I'll go there and check it out. And it turns out that this area is kind of annoying, because there's a lot of mages and stuff that actually like take you out pretty quickly. But the XP drops are pretty insane. By doing this one room, I was getting about 2 to 3 levels per like run through of this one room. So yeah, a really good place, but it is pretty deadly. You do die a lot, but yeah, the amount of XP you get is pretty thick and fast. And yeah, I would recommend it. And then we finally got that achievement, Curse of the Developer, for getting level 80 with every character. 200 gamer score. What a big boy. So yeah, that's all the characters to level 80, and it's just you know, level 120 on Kendal and the extreme mode, along with a couple of extra achievements along the way. The first thing I did with Kendal was slap it onto that normal mode and headed over to the Halls of Arrogance to basically learn the spell Petrify and Breath, which is required to get the achievement Where is the Stone Golem. We'll cover that more in a bit, but while I was unlocking this this spell, I managed to pick up about 7 orange potions throughout the Halls of Arrogance, and 1 from the invisible enemies. So that was pretty nice. You know, I'm not going to complain about an extra 7 orange potions. But yeah, there was the Petrify and Breath spell unlocked, and we also upgraded our weapons. So now we've got our crossbow that's going to do 488 damage, and our hammer's going to do 3,994, just shy of 4k damage. So that's pretty spicy, I'm not gonna lie. But then we headed over to the Forest of Embracing. We went to that third map and found ourselves a wood golem and hit them with that Petrify and Breath, which turned them into a stone golem. I was a bit confused because they just turned the stone on. I couldn't damage them, but just give it a second. He does wake up and then he stays as that stone golem. And yeah, pull him down and you get the achievement Where is the Stone Golem, which is pretty nice. And then it was back to the Cave of Rage to complete our training and get that level 120. So coming back here on Extreme, all these enemies were elite versions and the XP drops were even more insane. So it didn't really take me too long. But the other advantage of coming here and killing these guys is they drop blue potions, which actually increase the HP of your armor when you synthesize them. So picking those up along with leveling up was pretty useful. But yeah, we grabbed the 3 of those and then we finally made it to that level 120, giving us the achievement Lord of the Dimension. Pretty nice stuff, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was gonna take a lot longer, but it wasn't too bad. It was a bit of a grind, but it was not too bad. And then we put all those blue potions to use and upgraded our armor, which got our HP to 25,110 HP, which is crazy, and it's going to be super useful against the Encoblosa fight. And then I finished off by just using some white potions to synthesize a few more times to get the achievement to synthesize an item 20 times. I used the white potions because it didn't reduce the HP at all, and I had no enchantments on my armor piece, so it basically did nothing but increase the synthesization number or whatever to get that 20. So yeah, we got that achievement, and then all that was left was to beat up Encoblosa. And just so you know, you don't have to kill all the bosses to get the achievement that's tied to completing the game on Extreme. So you can get the Timid developer achievement without killing all the bosses. You're going to get the same credit sequence if you just kill Encoblosa and none of the other bosses, which is pretty nice. So once you feel ready and you've upgraded with your blue potions and orange potions, head over there and, you know, tell them what you think of them. But do be careful, because this boy is a lot tougher on Extreme, which, you know, it kind of makes sense. But yeah, he packs a wallop. Considering I had 25,000 health, he was deleting my health bar with some electric moves and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely be careful. But yeah, we did manage to get him down to his meatball phase on the first try. And yeah, I also kind of realized that if you hold the healing spell and use your white potions to keep it going, you can take damage while that spell is activated, which was very interesting. A little bit late to learn now, but just in case, you know, it's a useful tip in case you're struggling with something and you need to use that. But yeah, we started taking him out a little bit, and then he trapped me in the corner and I couldn't dash away, and he just rolled into me and I fell over and died. So that was very sad. You know, could have killed him first try, but I didn't. And then due to the fact that I used all my potions trying to beat him on that first try, I had nothing left. So it was a case of just kind of running into him, fighting him, trying to work out a couple of things, seeing how well I could do without any heals. And then every time I died, I just picked up more potions from the idols until I had a good amount where I felt a bit confident. And my main aim was to get him down to that meatball phase without using any potions. And then if I got to that point, then I'd start using my potions. So eventually I did take him down to that meatball phase, and then, you know, it was game on. As soon as I hit that meatball phase, it was time to have a little sippy. And yeah, drank down all my potions, which gave me 1 health bar and a little bit. So that was kind of pointless, I'm not going to lie. But, you know, we did have a full stack of large potions on backup, so that was pretty good. And then, yeah, we started letting loose on this dude, and, yeah, took him down pretty low to about 1,000 health, and then he came in close and he started like tagging me up, and I got a little bit scared. I was like, don't do it against me, but he fucked off in the end. And then yeah, we took him out, and yeah, that was extreme mode done. I was pretty happy with it. And then all we had to do was sit there and watch the credits roll on through, and then yeah, it was achievement time, and that was Kingdom Under Fire, 100% completed. It was one hell of a journey. It took, I think it was about 70 hours, I think I totaled in the end. But, yeah, it was definitely interesting. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this game when I first started playing it. I was like, uh-oh, what have I got myself into here? But it turns out it was a very enjoyable game. Sure, it's a little bit rough around the edges and not completely polished as a game. But, you know, the fun factor was there. I enjoyed myself. And if you enjoyed this video, why not hit that like button to let me know you had a good time. And yeah, comment down below. Let me know if you've played this game, what your experience was, or if you've never heard of this game and you want to give it a go. Because yeah, you know, let's start a conversation. Let's get the community growing a bit. You know, maybe no. All right, don't worry about it. Do worry about subscribing though, because subscribing will let you know when more videos come out. If you did enjoy this video and you want to see some more. But yeah, that's it for now. So I'll see you next time. Nice one.